If you feel like you're just posting into the void and the algorithm is ignoring your content, you're not alone. That's why in this video, I'm gonna show how I went from gaining only a few followers per day to then gaining over 17,000 followers in just 8 days. And this not only led to higher engagement, it also led to thousands of dollars in brand deals. So let me show you exactly how that happened so you can do the same. All right, so 2 years ago, I was running an Instagram page for a basketball player named Victor Wembanyama. And if you're not familiar with professional basketball, Wemby was considered the best NBA prospect in 20 years.
The greatest prospect to ever walk across this stage.
So there was a lot of hype surrounding his arrival to the NBA. And being aware of this hype, I had created a page for him a couple of years prior and built a decently sized audience of around 23,000 followers. But despite the size of my audience, I had only made $10 from this page, and I was anxious to change that. And it just so happened that a great opportunity to do that was the NBA draft. Basically, the way this works is that every June, all the teams in the NBA come together and they are allowed to pick from a list of prospects who they want to add to their roster. The draft is a big deal because fans finally get to see where the best prospects are going to play in the NBA, and they also get to see which players their favorite team will be getting. So, the week of the draft, I made sure to be super active, posting multiple times per day in hopes of capitalizing on the excitement. Well, the draft came and went, and I did gain some followers, but to be honest, I was a little disappointed that I didn't gain more. But I kept posting, and a couple days after the draft, something crazy happened. One of the reels I posted went absolutely bonkers, getting over 2 million views and flooding my notifications with activity. I still remember refreshing my profile and seeing my follower count go up in 100 follower increments every couple of minutes. And in total, that post generated over 15,000 followers alone. But because that post went viral, then all of my other posts started performing better as well. So if you combine the followers I gained from that post, plus all the other posts I'd made that week, I gained around 17,000 followers in total. That meant that in a period of just 8 days, my follower count had nearly doubled from around 23,000 followers to now over 40,000 followers. And as a result of this sudden explosion, I now had all kinds of people reaching out to me with hopes of doing brand deals or even trying to buy the account from me. To this day, that is still the craziest week I've ever had in my 11 years running social media. And as I've reflected on this experience, there are 3 main lessons that I've taken from it. Lesson number 1 is that it wasn't just one post that led to this explosion. Remember, I had been running this account for 2 years before things went crazy. And during those 2 years, I had built up a backlog of content. So when I did go viral, I had credibility. When a potential follower saw my reel and then visited my profile, they saw that I had been posting for a while, and so they knew I wasn't just chasing views. If I had posted that same reel on a brand new account or on an account with not as tight of a niche, I likely would not have seen the same growth, even if the video still got over 2 million views. And the reason I can confidently say that is because the original poster of the video actually got over 5 million views when she posted it, but she didn't gain anywhere near as many followers as I did. So in my opinion, there are 2 takeaways here. First is that most people have to post for a long time before they see the fruits of their labors. So don't get discouraged if you're not seeing the results you want. Keep building the foundation, and eventually the followers will come. The other takeaway is the importance of niche. I believe one of the main reasons I gained so many followers from this post is that my page was dedicated specifically to Victor Wembanyama. This opened up my content to be relevant to a much broader audience than if I was only targeting fans of his team or fans of the league in general. And this may seem counterintuitive, but if you think about it, Wemby is this freak prospect that we've never seen before. So that means that people who are not fans of the Spurs and maybe not even fans of the NBA are still likely to be fans of Wemby without necessarily being fans of the other two. And I believe this made it super easy to convert followers, because if they liked my one video, then they would come to my profile and see it was all content about Wemby, so it was super easy to follow. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should go start a page dedicated to an athlete or celebrity, but in general, it's typically easier to grow from the start if you narrow down. Then the final lesson from this experience is to not underestimate the power of hype. Part of the reason why this reel went so viral is that it was years of built-up anticipation getting paid off. People had talked about Wemby as a prospect for years before he made it to the NBA. So when there was finally a video of him wearing an NBA uniform, the floodgates opened. Anytime you can capitalize on a trend, hype, or other popular event, it's a great way to capture a bigger audience. And speaking of building an audience, click the video on screen to learn how you can start building an audience from zero.